Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very, very, very unusual and somewhat special Sunday night live stream. And I know I didn't give much notice on this one, and I was planning to do one yesterday, but things got out of hand after work, etc. So welcome. I've not planned anything for today's chat, so I'm hoping there's going to be enough of us to hang out, have a chat, talk about anything that's going on in the property market. If you're a first-time buyer and it's your first time here, this channel is purely for helping first-time buyers buy their first home and the process that goes along with it. So if you haven't already given the stream a thumbs up, please do. If you're watching on the replay, please pop in the comments section where you're from and how far down the house buying journey you are. So as I said, I haven't really planned anything for this live stream. I'm hoping there'll be enough people watching who are saying hello and asking some questions that I can help with. If there isn't anybody, then unfortunately we're gonna cut this short. So hopefully you're all having a wonderful evening. Wonder if you watched the football, if you watched the Lionesses beat the Germans 2-1, which was fantastic. So yeah, very, very, very good evening for football. Not a very good evening for me being prepared. Like I say, this is a very much off the cuff live stream. So welcome if you are watching. Hi James, how you doing, mate? Thank you for joining me, my friend. Anything you want to chat about? Any questions you've got about the property market? Anything you want to talk about regarding house prices or anything like that? I'm here for about an hour, maybe a bit less depending on how things are going. But yeah, thank you for saying hello. Hello there, Penny Pap. Welcome to the stream. Justine, hello and welcome. So guys, we've got a few people watching. Let's have a chat. Let's talk about where you are on your property buying journey. Hi Isla, how you doing? Thank you very much for coming. So where are we? Are we viewing properties? Are we getting our mortgage agreed? What stage are we at? Have you offered on something? Is there something going on at the moment through your house buying journey that you want help, advice from, or just want to share with the community? Normally we get a good sort of 40, 50 people watching. I don't think we're going to get as much as that tonight because it was a very, very late live stream. So yeah. So James, I'd like to hear you talk about your experience and how you got into estate agencies. Okay, so maybe we could start off the stream a little bit about me until a few more people turn up. So I never really knew what I wanted to do with my life in terms of jobs. I'm not sure many people do when they're 15, 16 years old, but nonetheless, I'd done college. I applied for college, business, history, and what was the other one? No, it's business and history for A-levels. I'd done it for 2 weeks and realised that really wasn't for me. So I jacked that in without telling my parents. On the way home from jacking in my college or sixth form, I saw a job for the estate agents on the way home, T-Boy, back in 2002 or 3 and 2002, and I got the job as T-Boy, and then 20 years later managing one of the most successful independent offices in my area. So that's how I started, James. And now I'm helping first-time buyers buy their first home, as well as helping my vendors between the hours of 9 and 6:30 most bloody days of the week. How about you, James? You're in the game, and how did you get into it? Justine, we got an agreement in principle and are searching, but no house viewed yet. Trying to get as much info as possible in the meantime. Yeah, whereabouts are you, Justine? Because if you join us on a Wednesday night, you'll see that there's a real disparity in terms of where in the world or where in the country you live as to how many houses are coming onto the market. Where I am, over the last couple of months, there's certainly been a hell of a lot more people putting their house on the market, and even reductions as well. We're seeing a lot more reductions. If I type in my town on Rightmove and then go within 3 miles around that and added within the last 24 hours, the last 3 or 4 weeks especially, there's been 20 to 30 new houses either reduced or coming onto the market every single day. So that's quite a large amount compared to what we've been used to over the last couple of years. So yeah, depending where you are, Justine, let the chat know, let the community know whereabouts in the country you're looking to buy. They may have experienced the same and agree with you. But if you sometimes search that little bit further out, may not be ideal for you. But my mantra or my saying on this channel is buy the house you need, not the house you want. So if you can buy the house that you need a little bit further out and compromise on location, then you might be able to get the property that you need. But good thing you got your mortgage agreement in principle, Justine. Very, very good. So many people start viewing houses without knowing the exact amount they can afford, and this is the best you're going to get until you apply for your mortgage. So well done in getting that all sorted. But yeah, please pop down if you're happy to let us know where you are. Maybe somebody in the community is not too far away from you. Pramod, welcome back. Nice to see some regulars here. Nice to see some regulars. Sorry about the late notice, guys. I say sometimes I don't know when I'm going to be able to sort of do an extra live stream. So I'm really pleased that a few of you guys, a few of the regulars have been able to turn up. There we go. So you got your mortgage agreement principle. Fantastic. So what do we think is going to happen with interest rates next week, guys? What do we think is going to happen next week? Interest rates are due to go up again, which will then mean your mortgage rate will surely follow. And the last time interest rates went up, 3 of the governors of the Bank of England, 3 of the 9, voted that they should put the interest rates up by 0.5% rather than 0.25%. So if we're seeing inflation going up, which we normally are, that's what we have been the last 6-7 months, then to get that under control, they may start to raise those interest rates even higher. But we'll have to wait till next week to see if that happens. What do you guys think? Lee, why do you focus only on first-time buyers? Buy-to-let investors also watch your program. It's a good point. It's a very good point. But there's a lot of buy-to-let investor channels out there. So many. And I would be fighting against a lot of other creators. And to be honest with you, there's really not much help for first-time buyers, Pramod. So I felt like I could help more people be more specific in helping first-time buyers. And we don't just have first-time buyers here, as you know, Pramod. We've got some sellers as well who are buying their next home, who are here for the market updates. But generally, it's first-time buyers that need help, don't have anybody holding their hand over this sort of time of their life. And I feel like I can offer that advice, or anybody who is selling and buying at the same time who can help. I haven't bought a buy-to-let property, so if I'm sitting here preaching about what properties to buy, I think I'd be a little bit of a hypocrite. I feel like if people want to come for me for advice in terms of buying a first home, I can give that. But when it comes to buy-to-lets, I'd be able to help you with buy-to-let properties around my area, but anywhere else in the country, I wouldn't be able to offer my expertise as much. I don't want to mislead anybody. I don't want to mislead us. I think this is a channel for helping as many people, ideally first-time buyers, because there's not that. I couldn't see any channels on YouTube. Let me know if I'm wrong, where they solely specify in helping first-time buyers or first-time home sellers as well. So Justine, she's got a mortgage agreement in principle. I'm in Lincolnshire, and I do agree. There are more houses available and or reduced. We're looking for a Victorian or 1930s house, and these are more sparse. So yeah, I mean, if you're after a specific type of property, then that is going to sort of narrow down the amount of properties that are going to be perfect for you. Is there a particular reason, Justin, you're going for a Victorian or 1930s? Is that the bigger size rooms, higher ceiling? Anything in particular you like about those? Let me know. Hello, Kay. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining us. And Bob, I'm 55 years old and I'm not a first-time buyer, but I have some advice for first-time buyers. Don't make the mistake I did when I was a first-time buyer at 24, assuming I could only afford X. Look at all options, nothing to lose. What do you mean by that, Bob? What are the other options? Are we thinking going to different lenders, going to an independent mortgage broker to see if you can actually get more money rather than just going direct to your bank? Because that's the advice on this channel, is if you haven't spoken to an independent mortgage broker and just your own lender or a not whole of market mortgage broker, I've got a mortgage broker that go to every lender there is. So let me know if you are interested in that. Ayla, prices are still rising in Enfield. Yes, they are indeed. I mean, I'm not in Enfield, but I'm not far away. But yeah, in our part of the country, prices are still going up. Maybe not as quick as they have been over the last couple of years, but they're certainly still creeping up, and so those interest rates more importantly. Amar, welcome back. Harley, really valuing these live streams, so thank you very much. During my first time buying process, got the offer agreed and completed the mortgage application. Congratulations. Should I be chasing the lender or broker about a survey? Depends how long it's been, Amar. I would normally, as an estate agent, expect survey access or phone call from the surveyor to me to happen within sort of a week to 10 days. So if it's been less than a week, then I don't think you've got anything to worry about just yet, but you could just call the estate agent and ask if they have heard from the surveyor from the lender to see if that's been booked in, and then you can find out when it's going to happen, and then that gives you a rough idea of when your mortgage offer will be out. In terms of broker, you can always call your broker. You're paying that broker a fee, or they're going to get a large fee from the lender for arranging this mortgage for them. So I would personally, don't be scared to ask these people you're paying money to for advice and what the next steps are. So, but that's what we're here for as well. We're going to do as many live streams as we can, but as usual, Wednesday, 8:30 p.m, I'll be here, and occasionally we'll do a weekend one if if the missus is doing her photography stuff, then I'll get a spare few minutes to catch up with you guys. Let's have a look here. Agents are saying that they won't remove the listing until a survey's, but I mean, that's not uncommon. I mean, we don't do that. We wait for solicitors to be instructed, and we have all the mortgage agreement in principle, etc., because the survey is really out of your control. That's not something you can physically book in. But yeah, if that's the case, let your broker know that it's imperative that survey is done sooner rather than later. Just make sure they've submitted all the information they need to the lender, and then if after 3 or 4 days you haven't heard that the survey is booked in, then certainly worth a phone call to your broker, seeing if they can hurry that up, because you don't want to lose it. You don't want to lose it. I overall like the layouts. Bathroom needs to be upstairs though, and bow. Yeah, the bow windows are nice. Pain if you want to get curtains or blinds, but yeah, bow windows are really, really nice. And yes, generally the older style ones, you sometimes do get that downstairs bathroom, but you can always move that around, pinch a bit of the bedroom. But no, I do like older style properties. I mean, I'm in a 40s house, lovely big rooms, solid walls, nice sized gardens as well, and we've got the nice bay bow window as well. So I completely understand why you're going for that, Justine. But would you miss out on buying something else that could be perfect just because it wasn't of that age? Interesting question. Bob James, other options at that time when I was a first time buyer was only looking at flats, assuming I could not afford a house. Bad mistake. So I don't want others to make the same mistake if wanting a house, not a flat. Yeah, I mean, if you assume, I think the market's probably a bit different than what it was 30 odd years ago, Bob, where buyers now are really, really encouraged to get their mortgage agreements in principle first before even considering buying a house or even looking on Rightmove. There's so many tools out there to give you a rough idea. Lots of banks, or all banks, have their sort of how much will we lend you tool, subject to other checks. But speaking to a broker before you even thinking about looking on Rightmove and Zoopla is absolute key. Get an idea of your borrowing power, and then you can start looking, knowing exactly what you can afford. But yeah, great advice from Bob. Great advice from Bob. Thanks for joining us as well, my friend. And also, if you haven't liked the stream, guys, we've got 26 people viewing. If you could give the stream a big thumbs up, that'd be fantastic. We've got 8 at the moment, so if we can get that number up, that'd be fantastic. Last Wednesday, I tried to get 50 or 60, was it? We got close. So if we can get up a little bit more, that'd be fantastic. Alex Cooper, welcome to the channel. Welcome. If there's a property crash, the best locations will always recover faster than the bad locations. Buy the worst house in the best street you can afford. It's easier to add value. Yeah, I mean, if there is a crash, then they will increase in price. Okay, you look at a graph of UK house prices. For every dip, it always recovers more than what the prices were before the dip. So yeah, I really wouldn't worry too much. At the end of the day, guys, if you're watching this channel, then most likely you are looking to buy your first home or a home to live in. In no set terms is a house supposed to make you money. You're not buying a house to make you money. You're buying a house to live in and provide security for yourself. Okay, you only lose money if you decide to sell your property or have to sell your property when the market is bad. Okay, and you can't foresee that, so don't worry too much about resale. I mean, I bought this house, it'll be 4 years this year. I wasn't worried about resale because I knew I was going to be here for years and years and years. Unless a massive change of circumstances, like losing my job or winning the lottery or something like that, I knew I was going to be in this house for a bloody long time. So I didn't really care or really worry about what house prices were going to do, because this is going to be my home, and it's going to be my home for me, my wife, and my kids for the next, or for the considerable future. So that's what was more important for me. Was it the right size, the right garden, the right location, those important things? And then, but good advice if you are thinking about maybe flipping a property or something like that. Buy the worst house in the best street will never set you far wrong. Never set you far wrong. That's good to hear. I'm in Enfield and buying a flat in Waltham Cross. Another flat in the adjacent block has come onto the market at £5,000 less, which is annoying. Oh, hang on a second. Have I missed a question here, guys? Have I missed a question? Price still up? No, we haven't. Oh dear. I mean, is that flat, K? Is that better or worse than the flat you're currently buying? Because that can be bloody annoying. You know, like when you buy a car or something, and then you think, yeah, I've got a nice new car. You drive past a car garage, you see the exact same car for less money. It's bloody annoying. But at this point, Kay, you're not committed into buying that property unless you've exchanged contracts. So if you did want to try and renegotiate or look at the other one, I don't like to encourage that, but as an estate agent, but as a person speaking to potential buyers, then yeah, you could look at that flat and see what the difference is. And if there is no difference, and you could save £5,000, that's a lot of money. But chances are there'll probably be quite a lot of competition for it if it's £5,000 less than what the nearest sold house is, which would be your one. But is a bit annoying that. Evening, Sylvia. Welcome back, my love. Welcome back. Avnid, welcome. Hello. Thank you for everyone for joining us. Thank you for the response date. I always no, more than welcome, guys. I'm happy to be here. You've been following me since since I started in 2020, from those 2 months, or for 2 months. Either way, thank you so much. Thank you. I can be a bit boring sometimes, so to stick with me for 2 months at least is fantastic. And there's a lot of guys here who've been with me for a long time. So yeah, thank you so much. Okay, flats aren't doing as well. It's mainly 3-4. The bigger houses are going up in price. There is just more demand for 3-4 bedroom houses. 2-bedroom flats, or most flats over the last couple of years, haven't increased in line with houses in terms of percentages going up. So houses have been doing sort of that, whereas flats haven't been keeping up. So maybe some flats have reduced in price to try and attract more interest and get sold sooner rather than later. But always check the lease, guys, when you're buying a leasehold. Check the lease, check that the ground rent doesn't double every 15 or 30 years, because you can struggle to get mortgages on them as well. So I hereby got my mortgage from Nationwide for £315,000 after 6 weeks. Oh, fantastic. So is that your mortgage offer, Avind? Is that mortgage offer or mortgage agreement in principle? If it's a mortgage offer, fantastic. 6 weeks isn't too long at all. That makes sense. My interest rate is 2.89% fixed for 5 years. That's pretty good. You must be putting a large chunk down there, Arvind. So well done for you. James Kelly, welcome, my friend. Hi, Lee. What are your thoughts on auctions for first-time buyers? Thanks for the advice. I would think very carefully before going to an auction. You have to legally say that you can exchange and or complete within a set period of time, normally 28 days or 31 days. As a first-time buyer, you can't guarantee that, because you've got to have survey, searches and inquiries and stuff like that. Your solicitor wouldn't be able to guarantee that your purchase would be ready in time for the deadline. So you can get some potential deals at auction, but in this market, I would be very cautious about a house that goes to auction in this market. The market is so good for sellers, as I'm sure you guys have experienced, maybe fighting different people for the same house, that if a property has to go to auction to sell, then there might be something fundamentally wrong with it. And that could mean it's not mortgageable, which wouldn't help you as a first-time buyer, James, unless you're cash. If you are cash, then that changes completely. Just do your due diligence, make sure you read the legal pack. But generally, if you're a normal first-time buyer with a mortgage, I wouldn't go for an auction property, as you can't You can't guarantee you'll be ready to complete when it was ready. James, as well, thank you so much for the super sticker as well. Really, really appreciated. As always, you can do a super chat or a sticker or a thanks or buy me a coffee, but it's not needed. You're still going to get your questions answered, but I really, really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much. Thank you, James. Harley, I'm in the middle of a purchase. The mortgage offer will expire in 30th of August, but I can see my vendor is not very interested at this moment. At the top of the chain, still hasn't found a property. Oh dear, that's not very good. If I go to a new product, it will cost me an extra £140 a month. How can I convince my vendor to complete? To be honest with you, Promote, I don't think you can convince them. You can certainly ask. Hi, Mia, as well. Welcome to the Sunday stream. A Wednesday regular. Thank you for coming back. You can't convince them to do that. I mean, if the chain isn't complete, then and they're not willing to vacate, they may be willing to lose you as a buyer and try and resell again, maybe at more money. So I think you may have to weigh up, Promote, whether that extra £140 a month, that extra interest you're going to pay on the mortgage is worth it for this property. If it's not, then you walk away. If you can't find anything similar for that sort of price, then you may have to go for a new mortgage, and you might be able to try and renegotiate a little bit. I mean, I've had a couple of buyers who have had to get new mortgage offers who have asked for a few £1,000s off of the price to help with the extra payments that they're going to have to make. So certainly worth asking the question. But yeah, I think just decide whether, if your mortgage offer does expire, whether it's worth waiting for the chain to be complete and then going for your mortgage, because you don't want the same thing to happen again. But you could just ask the question, let them know, look, my offer is running out at the end of August. I need to exchange by then, otherwise I'm going to have to get a new mortgage. And at the moment, that's without the interest rates going up, potentially going up next week, it's going to cost me an extra £140 a month. Would you help contribute to that? That's probably the best way you can do it, my friend. But a lot of people are going to be experiencing the same. If their mortgage offers expire before completing and have to go for a new mortgage, it's going to cost you more each month as well. You're spot on, Lee. Back when I was a first-time buyer, mortgage, etc., were very different and easily got 100% mortgage and could afford it even in a modest wage. Feel sorry. Yeah. I mean, I was selling houses to buyers who were getting mortgages for 125%, so borrowing more than the house was worth with no deposit down. So say a flat 100 grand, people were able to borrow £125,000 and not have to prove their income as well. So yeah, times have definitely changed in some respects for the better, because these silly mortgages aren't being handed out, which is why I'm not overly worried if there is a recession. I sound like Joe Biden, don't I? We're not in recession, but I don't think a recession will be anywhere near as bad as what it was back in 2007, 2008. We had the financial crisis. Banks are in a much better position. They've lent more responsibly, which means there won't be as many repossessions, and the jobs market is so strong right now that there's more people looking for jobs there's more jobs available than people looking for them. So while that's still going on, I can't see much of a crash. Again, just a reminder, please like the stream. Emma, welcome to the channel. Don't think I recognise you, so thanks for commenting and joining us. We have an agreement in principle, but now essentially defunct. What we could afford a few weeks ago, we now can't. Interest rates. What would you advise about first-time buyers stretching mortgage length to afford the perfect house? Personally, going for a longer mortgage means you're going to pay a lot more in interest. And again, I'm not a mortgage broker, so this is my opinion, not advice. So do seek independent financial advice. You will pay a lot more in interest over that time. So you've got to weigh up what position you will be in. Say you've got a 25-year mortgage at the moment, and you may want to extend it to 30 or 35. You've got to take your retirement age into consideration. If you're sort of in your 30s now and you're thinking of getting a 30, 35-year mortgage, you've got to start looking at when you're hoping to retire, when your pension kicks in if you've got one. But ideally, you wouldn't want to stretch it any more than you feel comfortable with. Have you tried looking at different lenders, Emma, as well? Because some lenders do different interest rates. If you're able to put down a bit more deposit, if you can save a bit more, or borrow it from mum and dad as a gifted deposit and put that down, that can bring you down into a lower interest rate, stopping you having to extend that mortgage length, Emma. So let us know where you're at and what you have available to you in terms of extra help, or if you feel comfortable in extending it or not. Will the lender always ask for 2 years of pay slips? What happens if you can't? Well, I've not heard of 2-year pay slips unless are you self-employed, Mia? Normally, I mean, each bank has their own criteria and their checklist of what they want. Some only want 1 month's bank statement and 1 month's pay slip. Some will want 3 to 6 months. And if you're a business, they may want 2 years worth of accounts. So if you are on a self-employed basis, then it's not unusual for them to ask for 2 years of accounts or at least a year's of accounts. But what lender are you with, Mia? What lender? Ashley Deck. Welcome, Ashley. Please give the channel a thumbs up if you haven't already. Had one house fall through, so have offered on another property. It is vacant after someone died and has been vacant for a year. What's the fastest way to complete on a property with inspection? So what I would suggest is if the person's passed away, you want to make sure that the probate has at least been applied for. If that the owner passed away a year ago, that probate should be out, and that can take 6 to 12, 15 weeks. So it can take a long time for probate to go through. So you want to make sure that is out first and foremost. And the best way you can do in terms of making the transaction go as quickly as possible is use a great solicitor. And if you're buying a house right now or a property right now and you've got a good solicitor, please link it, pop it in the comment section, share your good experiences and your bad solicitors and brokers and stuff like that as well. But yeah, good solicitor. Fill out all your paperwork as quickly as possible. So whenever the solicitor gets you to sign something or send something back, sign it, get it back. Any money you need to pay it straight away. If you do those things and maybe book a weekly call or every 10-day phone call with your solicitor and the estate agent to get an update, be on the ball, be proactive rather than reactive, that should help speed things up for you. I hope that's helped. I'm just going to get a drink because a bit of a break. Right. Hello, Sue. How you doing? You all right? Good to see you again. Thanks for joining us again on a Sunday. And Ilana, thank you so much as well for coming this Sunday evening. Really good to see all the regulars here as well. Hi, Lee. Our lender is NatWest, and they asked for my partners, but for me, he's not self-employed, but has a lot of bonuses every month. So it could be that. I mean, my mortgage is with NatWest. I'm on commission, so my wages fluctuate quite a lot, and they ask for 3 months bank statements and wage slips as well. So it could be his bonus. They want to see a consistency of his bonus. Maybe a year it was a little bit up and down, but over 2 years, if it averages out enough, then they may look at it differently. But yeah, I'd imagine it's probably because of the bonuses or any commission or overtime that you both or one of you may do. They want to see that consistency, so they can include that in your affordability. I know with my commission, I think NatWest were the best lender, which took more of my commission into account. I think some lenders only take half of my commission into account, which some months can be a bloody lot of money, and other months it can't. So, but yeah, that might be the reason why. IWD Games, welcome. My mortgage has been agreed as a first-time buyer, and I'm just waiting for the solicitors conveying. Your info has helped me so much. You're welcome. Questions? Any idea how long this would usually take? Thank you very much. So the average house sale, we covered this on a stream a few weeks ago. According to Rightmove, it's taken 150 days. Now that is going to take every house that they mark as for sale and sold, all that information together. Whereas if you're buying a no chain property, in theory, it should be a lot quicker. I mean, I've had some go through in 10, 11 weeks, which is still a long time, but it's still a hell of a lot shorter than 5 months. But generally, IWWD Games, if you was to budget 3 to 4 months, it's going to be there or thereabouts. But it can be quicker depending if your solicitor, your lender, and the seller's solicitor, and there's not a long chain, all work together in unison and can get it going. But yeah, we're here every Wednesday, IWWD. So if you have any questions about what's going on or want to share it with the community, then Wednesday 8:30 is the perfect time to come and share that, and I can help you out some more as well. Got a viewing tomorrow. Excellent. I'll let you know how it. I'll let you know. Also, apologise, I haven't been a chance to email you. No, absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. I am going to be in Legoland tomorrow, so I won't be glued to my phone like I normally am during the week. So if it takes me a little while to come back to you, Suze, then that'll be why I'm having fun with the kids and the wife. Hopefully, it doesn't rain. What's the weather like in Windsor tomorrow? Anybody near there? Be nice. Hopefully, it'll be a nice day. But yeah, definitely message me. Let me know what you're viewing. This is something that I'm offering as well, guys. Now, a lot of you may already be buying, but if you are looking for a property, I'm offering a service where I will negotiate the sale for you with the estate agent and be with you every step of the way while the house buying process is going on. So I'm probably going to do something around sort of £200, £100 up front, and then £100 on exchange of contract. So if you want me to negotiate the price for you on that property, and literally have my mobile number, my WhatsApp to call me, email me anytime, and I'll come back to you. We can FaceTime different times of the day as well, any questions. So I'm offering that service for as long, if we don't get you the first property, I'll still work for you for the next one at no extra charge. So if that's something you want, and it's not in an area or not with any of my vendors where I live, then I can certainly offer that service if you guys are interested. If you are interested, then feel free to email me. I'll put it up on the screen now. leeeverettpropertyadvice@gmail.com if you would be interested in that service. No pressure. But we are going to be here every Wednesday evening at 8:30 if you do have any questions. So you don't have to use that service to get the advice. Where are we? Narrowboat Hands, welcome back. Was you here Wednesday? I think I recognise your tag. How much faster is a cash purchaser? So it can be a hell of a lot quicker. As a cash buyer, the buyer doesn't have to have searches, which can take 2, 3, 4 weeks to come back, depending where you live. Doesn't obviously have to have a survey, doesn't have to get the mortgage and satisfy the lender's requirements for questions being answered. And you can also sign all sorts of things to say that you're not going to sue the solicitor by not having inquiries done and stuff like that. So in theory, if they don't have searches, that can cut the time by 3 or 4 weeks. So it can take a huge chunk of time off of it. But if they are doing the same process as somebody with a mortgage in terms of searches and inquiries, it can be just as long. But what you do have with a cash buyer is there's no risk of a lender saying no, they're not going to give that person the mortgage. So it does take away an element of risk from a seller, and can be a hell of a lot more attractive to a seller than a mortgage person. If they have a choice between a mortgage and a first-time buyer or a cash buyer, then normally a seller will go with a cash buyer because there's that little bit less risk of things going wrong. Maya, hi, I didn't realise you were on tonight. Enjoy it. Yeah, I didn't know I was going to be on until about an hour before I came on. And then I had laptop problems. I think what I'll do with my next YouTube paycheck, we'll put it towards a new laptop, eh? So if you do want to support the channel and the laptop, because it's making a hell of a lot of noise right now, please give a super chat or a super sticker. That'll go towards the new laptop purchase. But I will enjoy Legoland tomorrow. I've never been. I wanted to go, but yeah, using the kids as an excuse to go. Thank you so much. I'll be sure to be there Wednesday. It's 8:30. I'm still eating my food at 8 o'clock. So yeah, see you at 8:30. Might even be late. Thank you. Have a good time. Weather is fantastic. Hopefully weather's good. Weather will be good. Great idea. I would say it's not something which I'm going to be pushing and you have to do. But if somebody does want that extra help, then I can do it. But because I'll be doing it into my family time and stuff like that, then it's got to be worth it for me. As horrible as that sounds, I've got to sort of weigh up the pros and cons of helping as many people as I can. So yeah. Goodness, Legoland is under fire. Be careful. What do you mean by that? Under fire? The Russians are getting that far now, are they? Man, sounds awesome. Wish I could have used your service. A bit too late for us, unfortunately, as our vendor refused to reduce the property and we already agreed to buy with the same original. That's fair enough. Like I say, it's not going to be for everyone. And a lot of people who are in this stream now are already buying. And that's great. It means you've secured somewhere and fantastic. But if anybody who does want that extra help, then I can do that. In what capacity? So I don't have the time or the resources to be the fully buying agent where they help you source a property, view the properties for you, all those bits and pieces. So I'll leave the finding a property down to yourself. And then once you've found a property, you pass the information on to me. I'll then negotiate. You tell me the price that you want to pay for the property, and I'll try and get it for that or less. Okay. Obviously can't guarantee it, but me being an estate agent, I know the tactics, the tricks, the market, and what our agents do. And I can use that knowledge to help get you the best price possible and secure that property for you. After the property has been agreed, I'll also then be liaising with that estate agent, the solicitors, if your solicitor will speak to me, if you have to give them permission to do so, making sure the transaction is going as swimmingly as it can, and updating you. So rather than you feeling like you can't speak to the agent or your solicitor, you can come to me. I can make those phone calls, emails, and I can come back to you and explain it in English rather than being bamboozled by legal terminology. I can hopefully make that a little bit more easier for you. But again, there's no pressure to do it. You can always ask on here on a Wednesday. But yeah, so, I definitely had used your service if I know. I only thought about it a couple of weeks ago, and I felt really conscious about launching it because I wouldn't want to put a pay barrier between me and the advice that you guys need. So, but I'd like to think I give enough on a Wednesday stream to help the vast majority of people without having to pay. But if somebody does want that extra service, then I'm here to do it. I'm here to do it. So yeah, I can certainly would like that. Would like that. So it'll go towards a new laptop. I think it's a great idea as a first-time buyer. This is it, and this is why I go back to the previous comment who said, why do I just comment on or prioritize first-time buyers? It's because there isn't anybody who will help first-time buyers. It's all helping investors and sellers and buying investment properties and buy-to-lets and stuff like that, where the vast majority of people who I've been dealing with, especially on this channel, it took me 18 months to realize that my core audience, my die-hard fans, are mainly first-time buyers, and I think that's the people I want to help. If you are a homeowner and still want that help, I'm certainly here to do that for you. But I say most of you guys are first-time buyers, and I want to help you as best I can. Thank you, James. Thank you. I say it's felt weird asking for money for help, but I'd like to think you guys or some of you guys would find some value in it, and like I say, it's not just for one property, it's until you find somewhere. So if you're find 5 or 6 different properties and you don't get until the last one, we'll just keep going until we get you something. We'll keep going until we get you something. Sounds awesome. Thank you for offering. Sounds good and very reasonable. That's it. I'm not going to become rich from doing this, but it will mean that I can allocate some time of my week to helping you guys, knowing that it's not eating into my family time. I'm not benefiting from it. If that's, that sounds really horrible. Yeah. But no, I think it's reasonably priced. Buying agents will charge you thousands and thousands and thousands, but yeah, we're not looking to do that. The other flat is at the same spec as mine. Would love your help in getting the price reduced. Not too late, as still waiting query responses from the seller's solicitor. Well, look, if you wanna have a chat, you wanna sort of see what we can or can't do, drop me an email, leeeverettpropertyadvice@gmail.com. We can have a little chat, see what you want from me, what I can do for you, and then we can take it from there. No pressure at all. I say, if you don't mind waiting a week, you can always ask me questions on a Wednesday or whenever I do a live stream. But if you do want that pretty quick response, then yeah, that service will be at that sort of £200 house buying scheme. I don't know what I'm going to call it. If you've got a name for it, then yeah, put it in the comment section. I need some inspiration. I'm not quite I'm not quite good at that. You're a fan. Fantastic. I work away every week, so I need all the help. I'm here for it, mate. I'm here. If you need help, I'm here for it. I say, if you want that more instant response rather than waiting for a week, then I can offer that service for you. Nagarajan. Sorry if I'm butchering that, my friend. Hi, Lee, quick question. So my dad owns a property, but my mum doesn't own one. But if she was the one to buy a property for the first time, will she be a first-time buyer? They are happily married and belong to the same household. If she's not on the deeds, then I believe she would qualify for a first-time buyer, which would then mean she doesn't have to pay any stamp duty up to £300,000, which can be a massive saving for you. So, theoretically, she will be classed as a first-time buyer. You can be a first-time buyer at any age as long as you haven't owned a property before. And although your mum is married to your father, if she's not on the deeds, then legally she doesn't own that property. If anything was to happen, God forbid, to your father, then your mother would then get the property. She'd then be on the deeds. But while the situation is as it is, I believe your mother would be classed as a first-time buyer. I'm sure each lenders are funny things. Some lenders class first-time buyers as somebody who hasn't owned a property for 5 years, whereas the government class a first-time buyer as anybody who has owned a property anywhere in the world. So the two definitions are different depending on who you ask. So a lender will have a different view on what the government, or may have a different view than what the government are saying. So just bear that in mind. For stamp duty, should be classed as a first-time buyer. Lenders as well, I believe, they should be classed as a first-time buyer. She's not the dude. Yeah, that's fine. I think should be classed as a first-time buyer, so she should be able to benefit from any first-time buyer mortgages out there, and stamp duty relief in terms of not having to pay that 2% up to 250, then the 5% over. So that should hopefully save the family a bit of money. But your father wouldn't be able to go on the deeds of that additional property. As soon as your father goes on there, then your mum loses her first-time buyer status straight away. All right, so yeah. Okay, guys, 31 people viewing. Let's get those likes up. We're at 23. We can do a bit better than that, can't we? We can do a little bit better than that. I know you can. You are more than welcome, my friend, more than welcome. Any more questions, feel free to, let's say, ping me an email and I'll come back to you as soon as I can, or join me again on Wednesday at 8:30. I hope you've enjoyed the stream this Sunday evening. I'm going to go and have a beer, just the one, because I'm driving tomorrow. Wish me luck at Legoland, and hopefully I'll see you guys Wednesday at 8:30. But if you are interested in that house buying service for £200, then feel free to email me. Oh, just a quick few more people. Is stamp duty free for buy to let? So if you don't own a property already, then you won't pay stamp duty up to £300,000. Okay, it's only if you own a property that you pay the additional stamp duty. All right, so you could. I know you potentially looking at your a buy to let, aren't you, as your first ever buy. Up to £300,000, you won't pay any stamp duty at all. I think it's a bit more in London, maybe £350 in London. So no, yeah, up to that sort of figure, you won't have any stamp duty. When you buy your first home for you to live in, you're going to have to pay the additional stamp duty, I believe. So just bear that in mind. Don't necessarily waste your free stamp duty on an investment, which you may. If you buy an investment property first, it's probably going to be cheaper than what your main residence would be. So technically, you can save more money on stamp duty by using your first-time buyer status in buying a residential property for yourself, because generally your investment properties are a little bit cheaper. So you'd be saving more money on stamp duty if you buy your residential first, but it does have pros and cons. Enjoy it. I will do. Not necessarily. If you just heard that. You're more than welcome here. Hope to see you on Wednesday. You're welcome, Justine. I'll get you a gift as well if I manage to get a reduction. I say that just you being happy is gift enough. That's fine. Look, guys, thank you so much for joining me on this last minute stream. Love you all. Thanks for joining me, and I'll hopefully see you again Wednesday at 8:30, where I won't have any software problems. Thanks again. I'll see you later. Have a lovely Sunday evening. Take care.